Before we start, this is a work of fiction and alternate history and is not to be taken too seriously. Making this video was like a dream come true. The Lord on Velledians. The Velledians are one of the main antagonists from the Heist 3 to 5 and Retrieval 1 to 4. They are a militant organization stationed across the globe, having encompassed almost all of it by 2174. Having been conceived around 1919 during the Estonian War of Independence, it was made to act as an elite squad called the Sunray Battalion, or PSJ. Its first leader was Ants Tarmo, having been appointed by the President of Estonia at the time. However, in 1927, inspired by the Italians' new government, Ants had decided that he wanted to rule Estonia like them and stage a coup against the Estonian government, but failed to do so due to neighboring Latvia and Finland sending troops to suppress the PSJ rebellion. After their failure, the PSJ decided to flee elsewhere like Germany, Italy, United States, and Japan, though their presence was mostly unheard of. Tarmo then died in 1930 due to a stroke and was succeeded by Cas Einseln, and focused on growing the PSJ in the world while also renaming it to the Velledian Party, or the Velledians, from the keyword Veled, meaning brother in Estonian. The Velledians didn't participate much in World War II other than sending a few troops to Europe and Asia on the Allied side. A story goes that Howard Hughes' great-great-great-grandfather Henry Hughes, that during the Battle of Britain he was in his Spitfire fighting off the Luftwaffe. He had his plane heavily damaged and in the last resort rammed it into a Dornier DO-17's cockpit, which killed the pilot and caused it to crash into the English Channel. Although Henry had jumped out moments after the Spitfire rammed the DO-17 as it fell. Henry was just one of many Velledians that participated in World War II. The Velledians also conducted operations in Korea, Africa, Vietnam, and Central America during the Cold War for their own interest, though they were often bribed by the Western Bloc and the Eastern Bloc to do this. But later in 1957, Gary Hoffman, the third Velledian leader, was then appointed and began to arm the Velledians even more and began campaigns to overthrow various governments to establish an empire. This plan was cut short when Gary was assassinated by his successor Yannick Lewis. The Velledians were then discovered by Soviet and American intelligence, and thus the Velledians once again had to wage war, this time against the USSR and USA. A ceasefire was ensued afterwards, and the Velledians were eventually disarmed, though they became a legal political party in some countries except Estonia, like Mexico, Australia, Hungary, Canada, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Russia, and Iran. The population of the Velledians grew from just 5 million members to approximately 1,933,802,123 in 2097. They rearmed in 2096 illegally but also secretly. During the December 2, 2098 snap election in Mexico, the Velledians took it upon themselves to start a rebellion and win after taking the capital and controlling Mexico's government. Unfortunately for them, the Velledian government in Mexico was deposed after the assassination of Tom Scruffington by the Orga team, established in 2096 in response to the Velledians' rearming, which was discovered by Australian spies, and its complete destruction with the help of the Mexican Resistance, or RMI. Howard Hughes, Tom's successor, succeeded temporarily by Peter Bryn, who was presumed dead that time, was revived and killed Peter and took his place. This assassination of Peter sowed discontent and anger in one of Howard's commanding officers, Captain Willem Bryn, brother of Peter Bryn, who, waiting for the right moment when Howard was presumed dead again, betrayed the Velledians and joined the Bond Legion, a group led by Libs Bond to succeed the now defunct Orga team after all its members passed away. Willem would then lead a team of 4 to one of the Velledians' bases in Azerbaijan and kill Howard personally, while also nearly getting killed. The Velledians eventually get into a truce with the Bond Legion in 2162, with the new leader James, then killed by the new one Nicholas, to combat the Neptunians, which have been expanding its empire since 2092 and has vastly grown in size. The Velledians and Bond Legion attacked Neptune and defeated their leader David Hurley. During all the ensuing chaos, a Velledian unit led by Yannick Yuri, Nicholas' successor, and a Sviaz battalion commanded by Alton's son broke into the Neptunian ship to rescue Hollandsphere, who was captured and held in the brig for 6 months. Nicholas eventually was killed in 1871 by Parados, a Neptunian robot, and was therefore succeeded by his nephew Yannick. The Velledians are still at war with the Neptunians until now.